One Reaction with Levy, and welcome back to the Daily One Reaction. We're filming this on Friday. It was supposed to be out on Wednesday. So let's get it going. Preseason reactions. We're going to start with that. We're changing up the format a little bit today. So let's start with our games. Last night we had two preseason games. Let's break it down, what it meant for each team in the field. Last night, starting with the Pittsburgh Steelers, they beat the Eagles 24-16, and the main story to me was Dwayne Haskins leading that comeback. He took a step in the right direction with this performance. Theoretically, I think this situation seems perfect. He's a guy that has struggled off the field, but Pittsburgh's very rigid. It brings people together. Mike Tomlin, stable culture, stable coach, stable owner. I think that works out for him, and he was compared a lot to their current quarterback in Big Ben Roethlisberger out of Ohio State. You don't remember that too long ago. He was a star in the making and saying, okay, this guy could be like Ben Roethlisberger, and he kind of showed that last night. He's tough. He could be accurate when he needs to be, and he's got the talent, and he probably has more talent than Mason Rudolph at this point. So time will tell, but I like this start from Dwayne Haskins. He looked like the more talented of the duo between Rudolph and Haskins for that backup spot. I don't know if he's going to win it because Rudolph has experience, but I think Haskins has the ability to be like a couple years or next year even, if Big Ben decides to retire, he can be like, I'm going to take the reins. I'm going to be the star of Pittsburgh and continue Roethlisberger's legacy. It's theoretical because he's got the talent, and he certainly showed it last night. Eagles. You couldn't tell much, I thought, with Devontae Smith injured, Jalen Reagor injured, but Quez Watkins impressed. I think that gives the Eagles a solid young core at wide receiver, gives them depth, and I think Dallas Goedert showed his ability. If Zach Ertz is traded, Goedert can easily step in and take the reins. I think Hurts, if you're Jalen Hurts, you're encouraged. You got the two young guys in Smith and Reagor. You got Quez Watkins coming on. You got Dallas Goedert. Maybe Zach Ertz. There's a lot of talent at these skill positions, and that will allow him to have a chance to take a step forward this season. You got those four guys. His running ability. You got Miles Sanders in the backfield. If this offensive line can hold up, it's a pretty dangerous offense. They got a lot of weapons in Philadelphia. Let's move to Washington and New England. Washington, I think it was the battle between Fitz and Heineke. These are basically two quarterback competitions. I thought Fitz showed some stuff. He showed Adam Humphries on a third down conversion. He showed that he can get the ball to Terry McLaurin. They'd struggled in third and short conversions, but I think as this offense gets going and this offensive line continues to play pretty good football, I think they're going to rely on Antonio Gibson, Terry McLaurin, and Adam Humphries. I think those are the three main guys. Of course, Logan Thomas, he's there as well. He just got a contract extension. There's some talent, and especially with this great defense, things are looking up in Washington as we head into week 2 of the preseason. New England, I think this is a real QB competition. Mac Jones, Cam Newton, both didn't do much last night, but one thing that we saw that was really cool for Patriots fans, Jonnu Smith, he had one catch for 16 yards. He had a great run after the catch on that 16-yard completion. You got to love that because they got no production out of their tight ends last year. This year they got Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry, two arguably top 10 tight ends in football. And then, of course, you picked up Nelson Aguilar, who had a breakout season in Vegas. So there's going to be more skill on this offense, and I think that will help Mac Jones or Cam Newton, whoever is the starter. I expect that it will start with Cam Newton, then move along to Mac Jones. But last night didn't really show much, but besides that, Jonnu Smith has the ability to make some moves and really add some dynamic skill to this offense. I just don't think they're in that top tier, though, with Miami and Buffalo. Now, let's move on to the MLB. Field of Dreams last night, great game. Fortunately, my Yankees lost, but let's move on. If I was commissioner right now, it got me thinking last night how much better the MLB season could be if, in a theoretical world, because owners, this is probably never going to happen because owners don't like turning down money, but theoretically, this is what I would do. I would have one of these games, like the Field of Dreams, the Sandlot game that has been rumored, the Winter Classic-esque type of game. I would have it once a month, one game a month. National television, continued interest throughout the year. For example, April, you have your opening day game. You have your premier opening day national broadcast. May, let's say you have a Winter Classic type of game in a warmer city. June, Field of Dreams, you know what I mean. So one game a month. Second, I'd cut the season to start beginning of April to the beginning of August, because April, May, not that important. Still got the NBA coming on. June, NBA starting to wrap up. July, then everything's like, okay, MLB playoff races right now. What's going on? During vacation, it's MLB. It's the summer. then really the MLB can hone in on that audience in July. And then beginning August, you're like, okay, preseason's coming up. Now we're going MLB playoffs right now. Starting the beginning of August, each team plays 110 games instead of 160. I think it encourages more interest throughout the year. I think fans are packed into the seats more often, and there's less opportunity for error for all these teams. There's more urgency for each of these teams, which makes fans like it more. It's true. When you have less games, there's more urgency. That's why the NFL dominates. Playoffs would then start in early August, and by Labor Day, so right before the NFL starts, so the preseason wouldn't take as much. It would be MLB, MLB, MLB. Right now, when it's kind of a dead part of the year, I would go, okay, MLB, playoffs. Imagine we had Mets, Brewers, NLDS, Yankees, Rays, ALDS. I mean, who wouldn't watch that right now? I think MLB then is not competing with anyone. I think viewership goes up during that time, and the weather is nicer, so we could see more runs in the playoffs, which is, I know, like, the old school fans are like, baseball, October, we need 160 games, blah, blah, blah. I think you got to make changes. I really do to this MLB format right now. I think 162 games is just too long. And I think the playoffs in October, it competes with everything. It competes with the NFL. And that is the biggest product in the world. Why compete with the NFL when you can have your own month to yourself where viewership is up, ratings are up, and you saw it last night. People watch it. People like the Field of Dreams game. Why not have that every month? So everyone's like, these MLB fans are like, okay, this is a premier month game. Let's do this every month to really encourage fan interest. I kind of like that idea instead of what they're doing right now. This is never going to happen, but that is my MLB plan if I was commissioner. Last night got me thinking about that Field of Dreams game. What a game it was. But that's probably never going to happen as we head into September and October for baseball. So one reaction with Levy, the daily one reaction here on August 13th.